You bitch ass niggas never be able to live this good. Nigga, fuck LA Ron. Fuck.
East side, west side, worldwide. Welcome to story time with OG LA Ron. Please don't forget to smash that like button, comment, and subscribe. Today, I want to do a story on a guy that I've been knowing for a long time. He actually moved out to Texas with me one time. He came to my wedding. He's a real dude from 9-7. I haven't seen him since I got out. Big Murk 9-7. How did I get familiar with Big Murk? Well, when my brother was going with a young lady that lived in the 9-7s on Quoting, I would always hear about a guy named Murk. I know Murk gonna get mad at me because I remember Murk had the first lowrider. He had a Camaro, and he had he had cut or whatever, but he had some rims and stuff on it. But I bet he wish he still had that Camaro. But anyway, it was a yellow Camaro. You know what I'm saying? And I just like to clown around with him a little bit, man, and just to talk about Big Murk, man. I always when Melvin had one of the spots that I worked for Melvin and Ingrid on the Colden 96. Murk was there, and it was a lot of us there. That's when I first met. I had knew Murk already, but I kind of like got real cool with him when we was working in the spot. He'd be Spike, T.I., all of us over there, and me and Murk, we got kind of tight and everything because Murk always talking about what he can do, how he gonna knock dudes out and everything. But when I looked at his hands was always busted up. He had like broken knuckles and everything. So, we always kind of like kicking. Murk the only dude that can come to my house, and he'd be on the side of my house, and he'd be at my window, and my mom would say, "Who is that?" And he'd say, "It's me, Miss Fisher." And she said, "Oh, that's Murk." My mom knew Murk real good, and she knew he the only one can jump over the little thing and come on the side of my window so he can holler at me. And she would always know that was Murk. She knew it out of everybody, that was only Murk would be able to do that. And my mom always loved Murk. And as we got older, man, we started going our different ways and doing different things. And Murk, every time I would hear something about Murk, they would say, "Oh, Murk just knocked out this dude. Murk knocked out that dude. He got to go to the hospital. His knuckle busted up and everything." And I remember one time, me, Melvin, and Murk, we had knocked these bras from over there in the hundreds, and I was messing with one, Murk was messing with one, and Melvin was messing with one, and he bust his knuckles again. I don't really know who he bust his knuckles on, but every time we would, man, Murk at the hospital, you know what I'm saying, his hand all messed up, sewing up, so we'd go to the hospital and see what's going on. But I would always come over there. Murk would always show me his glass house. He always kept a low rider. You know what I'm saying? He always was. We be over there capping jokes and stuff like that, but man, we would always, hang out and, I drunk a little bit. We always play dice, play basketball, and, Murk went to lock, and the funniest things that I used to always laugh at Murk about is his old prom pictures that he had over there at his house. I think he had on some velour or some kind of old stuff he had made to go to the prom. And I go over his house and we be laughing and stuff, talking about his prom pictures, high school. But man, we became good friends, and right before Melvin went to jail, we got kind of tight, everything, and Melvin ended up going to jail. And Murk was, I told Murk, I said, "Man, you come out here, man, to Texas with me, man." And but matter of fact, I'm finna get married, so meet me in Vegas. So Murk come down there to Vegas, man, and we talked, hooked up, drank, everything. Said, "Man, we're gonna go to Texas." So we ended up going to Texas, and right before he got settled in a little bit, I ended up catching a Fed case and doing 30-some years. But we always kind of like kept in contact. And then he was telling me different things about the hood. He was all, "Hey, man, Rainbow." I said, "Yeah, I know Rainbow. Rainbow up in here with me." So we got kind of cool. And Hank got killed. King Ron, Lil Murk, But we done been through a lot of times. A lot of guys and got killed. Some J boxers all the way over there. Big box, and I ended up being in jail with some of the little boxes and stuff like that, man. But the 9/7 man always been like my second home. You know what I'm saying? I always love to go over there, and always wanted to be around Big Murk. And Big Murk, man, he had a reputation of doing certain things, knocking, just regular old stuff, man. I never seen Murk duck no wreck. I always, be with him or hear about what he doing like that. But Murk is a real legend over in our neighborhood in the 9/7s. And I remember when Duck was alive. Duck used to always, talk about Melvin, Murk. But me and Murk, man, we go back, kind of like farther than any other 9/7. That's from 9/7 besides Big Marvin, we go back too. But Lil Steve, Tick and Dave, we all go way back. Even Aaron and all the Larry and all those guys. You know what I'm saying? But we go way back like Cadillac seats. And I'm just glad to be able to shine a little light on this guy. He done got old. You know what I'm saying? We all getting older. You know what I'm saying? He always always was respectful with me. I was all respect. We never got into it, but I love Murk to death, man. You know what I'm saying? And just talk about the big homie, man, and give him his due. You know what I'm saying? I always had an opportunity to go over there and see what Murk doing. Murk would always come on my house, and as we got older, we kind of still talk. You know what I'm saying? We always comparing our notes and stuff like that. That's when I first had met Spike and T.I., all those guys over there. But the 9/7 man was always they always had their finger on the pulse of the city. They always because they right there the borderline of Watts a little bit, so they always we already knew what's going on Front Street, Back Street, Watts, Grape, all that over there because Murk and them right there by the bebops. And man, it was always fun to go over to 9/7 because they always gonna tell you where the party's at. We go in 11A hood to the parties, or we go over to the motorcycle club over there in 11A hood. But yeah, man, this guy, man, I think that man, we all in our 60s now, and we always gotta keep us a couple low riders. I don't know if he ride motorcycles or not, but what I'm saying, I see a lot of these guys joining these clubs. I see 9/7, they didn't they didn't build a lot of stuff over there. When I went over the last time I went over there, I didn't really realize, what they didn't built over there. All the activities, the park and everything like over there. Cause my daughter Sashi, she live over there. I got a baby mama over there. You know what I'm saying? And just to be able to talk about this guy, I know he's a legend. I know that he been around a long time. He an old granddaddy, you know what I'm saying? And I just be really, trying to, bring light on these things because I know a lot of times, man, we got guys in our neighborhoods that, that really don't get they due. They just do. But, these guys is stand-up citizens, they grandfathers, they uncles, they brothers, they sisters, they brothers, sisters, uncles, and stuff like that, man. But, what I'm saying, I'm about to do another piece on some criplets and stuff like that, man. But, there's a lot of strong women in the 9/7s. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a piece on that right now. You got a lot of strong women, from the 9/7s, the Qs, from my experience that I seen, that I know, you know what I'm saying? But just to talk about Murk, man, he always been a stand-up guy. He always been the type of guy that, that was real respectful, you know what I'm saying? He gonna give you the yes or no answer, you know what I'm saying? He gonna, keep it correct with you. He gonna keep the answer straight. If it's yes, it's yes. If it's no, no. This type of guys, he gonna give you some good advice, and he always gonna be like, yeah, man, for death though. This is the first guy that I ever heard from that says for death though. I know a lot about guys. Man, we had it over here, we had it over there because one day we was standing in the street and Murk was like, yeah, man, the Main Street for life. We got for death though. But he just threw it up in there and it's kind of like stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be getting into who started first, but I know I heard it first from Murk. You know what I'm saying? 976. You know what I'm saying? So. Big Murk, I was the first guy I ever heard say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where he got it at. We just came out his mind because, we write, 9-7 right there by the main streets. And the main streets always had, Drooping them, they had their car club. They had their car club, Main Street for Life. And, right next to him, we was, East Coast for Death Dough. But, just to talk about the word and where it came from. And that's where I know it came from, and that's the place that I'm just putting a little bit of documentary. You ain't gotta believe me, you know what I'm saying? You believe what you want to believe, but if you ask him, hey man, what up, and boo, he gonna tell you, exactly what it is. But it is what it is for the F though. 976, 97, Big Murk, 97.